How's it, boys and girls? Welcome along. So we're about midway through our second week of lockdown. Again, doing fine, coping sweet. Hope you guys are all having a good time and keeping safe and keeping well. So I thought I would do a wee short video today on my most memorable finds. Not so much my best finds, more my memorable finds. Now, I have three of them. Three of them. And each one of these is memorable for different reasons. And when I show you and bring them up, you'll understand why. There's a couple of firsts and an epic find. So you'll understand why they're close to my heart. So yeah, we'll get into it. I'll flip you around and I'll reveal my three most memorable finds. I hope you enjoy it. Well, here we go, folks. Here are my three most memorable finds. Now, there are sentimental reasons behind all of these, and reasons why they're my most memorable finds. And we'll get into all of those as we go along. I'll try and make it quick. I don't want this to drag out. But we'll start here. Now, I've been detecting for over 10 years now. And when I first started, I just had a poxy little Garrett Ace 150. Hey, it did the job. It was an awesome detector and it had great depth. I was actually very, very impressed with it. But that's what I started out with. And I got taken under the wing of one NZ Pooh Bear. Now, a lot of guys here in New Zealand will know him straight away. Chris Chena, he took me under his wing straight away and started teaching me how to detect. The best ways to do it, where to go, where to look, what to look for, researching. And he was an awesome chap. He'd give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. He was just one of those guys. Now, sadly, Chris has passed away since. Miss you, buddy. Hope you're detecting and finding heaps up there in the detecting fields in the sky. But Chris never found a gold ring. And believe it or not, I was 2 weeks into detecting. I'd been out with him once or twice before this particular afternoon. He took me to a big park in town. It's our most common park here in Christchurch. And believe it or not, my second signal for the afternoon was this gorgeous gold ring. So my first ever ring, I hadn't even found a silver ring at that stage. This was my first ever ring, a gold ring with diamonds in it. And poor old Chris, as much as he was gutted, he was absolutely stoked for me. And his enthusiasm, it was infectious. He was so stoked. So stoked. Jealous much, but very stoked for me. So I was a little bit of a skeptic at the time. Thought, oh, it's a gold ring, sweet. Didn't really know too much about rings at that stage. I mean, okay, I'd bought a ring for my wife and all the rest of it, but I was like, oh, surely they're not all diamonds. Surely you wouldn't lose something like this. I got it tested, took it in, got it tested. And yep, the diamonds are real. I think there's about half a carat of diamonds or something in there. I can't remember. But the value of the ring came back at $3,000, and that was 10 years ago. So I have kept this ring quite close to my heart. It's a reminder of NZ Pooh Bear and his funny antics. And just a reason why I've kept going. So there goes that one. That's that would be find. That would be my most memorable find number 3. Okay. Most memorable find number 2. This gold coin. Now, sure, a gold coin on its own is a bucket list find for pretty much any detectorist. And this is a beautiful coin. But what makes it so memorable for me, it was my first. It's actually my only gold coin I found, but it was my first gold coin. And lo and behold, in the same hole was this quartz specimen rock. Now look at that, all through that rock. That there, folks, is gold, and a lot of it. I've gravity tested this rock multiple times, and it kept coming back between 4.5 and 4.6 grams of gold. So that's impressive. So there's obviously quite a bit more gold inside this rock that we can't see. But yeah, that there was in the same hole as that sovereign. So that makes that so much more memorable to, first of all, find my bucket list coin, gold coin, and a full sovereign to boot. So this is 8 grams of gold, and in just stunning condition. I mean, you can still see his hair, the inside of his ear, and the detail of the dragon, the horse, the rider. It's just absolutely unreal. This is a 1904 full sovereign, minted in Melbourne. You see a wee M there, just above the O. It was minted in Melbourne, and quite possibly this was sent straight here to New Zealand because there are not too many bag marks on it, and it is in stunning condition. So I'd say the poor chap lost it fairly soon after he acquired it. But yeah, so that would be my most memorable find, number 2. And I'll leave a link in the description for the video of that one. I did get that on video. Clearly I didn't get the ring on video. I wasn't doing YouTube 10 years ago. But I did catch that on video, which was quite special, But my number 1 most memorable find is this nondescript little chunk of bronze. Now, some of you might be, who are in the know, might be already jumping up and down saying, woohoo, that's a war medal, Crispy, it's a war medal. Well, yes, I do now know it's a war medal. I went on a road trip a few years ago before I was doing YouTube with Andrew, who you frequently see on my videos, and we went down south. We went on a big 7-day road trip down south. And we were in this tiny little backcountry town, not far from Dunedin, but pretty much it felt like it was in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it was a bit of a drive there. And we did this little tiny park. It wasn't even a very big park. We were finding a lot of 1940s memorabilia, coins, bits and pieces, and never really thought much about it. But I detected this. I wiped it clean. I thought, it's pretty cool. It's in really nice condition. It must be just a trinket. Can't be too flash. Have no idea what it was. Couldn't even figure out what that was at the time because there was a bit of dirt on there. And I just threw it in my pouch. Never thought too much about it after that. Got back to where we were staying, and the host of where we were staying, we were pulling out our bits and pieces, and I pulled this out, and he says, oh man, what is that? And I said, dude, I have no idea. It's just some little trinkety thing. And he says, no, that looks like a medallion or a medal of some sort. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's Google it. So we Googled up, and what we Googled was, 2 men fighting a crocodile, because that's exactly what we decided this was. And lo and behold, I'll put this down here, lo and behold, the first image to come up was this image here. And we were like, wow, that's it. That is what we were calling it then that's my medal. I couldn't believe it. So we clicked on that image, and it had a bit of a spiel. Now, somebody's put some sort of graffiti on here already. Ugh. So what I'll do is I will just quickly read through this, because it's quite interesting reading, and it will give you a little bit more insight into this medal here. So this medal was designed by Demetrius and was instituted by the Italian government to reward the achievements of Rommel's Afrika Korps. The medal was awarded only to German troops and the first presentations took place in 1942. Now remember that date, guys, 1942. The Italo-German campaign medal was initially produced in solid bronze, but wartime shortages forced a switch to war medal with a bronze finish or wash. It measured 31 by 31 with a ribbon device that measured 6 millimeters in height by 18 millimeters in width. The obverse of the medal is concave and features two gladiators, there you go, two gladiators, symbolizing Italy and Germany doing battle with a crocodile, which symbolizes Britain. So the crocodile itself was the symbol of Britain. On the reverse shows a swastika and a fasces, each one on the side of the Italian Fellini arch. So that's the big Fellini arch, there's the swastika, and there's the Italian fasces. I'm probably saying that wrong, so I do apologise. Okay, so again, depicting Italo-German cooperation. Under the arch is the royal knot of the House of Savoy. So that's that bit there. Around the rim of the reverse is the inscription, Italo-German campaign in Africa. In German on one side and Italian on the other. So this side is written in German and that side there is written in Italian. And separated on the top and the bottom, so there and there, by two single leaves. A 25 millimeter ribbon bearing the colours of Italy and Germany, black, red, white and green, suspended the medal. It was produced principally by F.M. Loroli and Sons of Milan, but a variety of smaller manufacturers also made the award. The Loroli manufacturer mark is present on the majority of the medals, either to the right or left of the crocodile, and you can just see it there. On the left-hand side of this medal is the Loroli Milano inscription. The absence of the manufacturer's mark denotes that the award was produced by a smaller firm. Alrighty, so this is where it gets interesting. The award was presented to DAC members only. Because Italy was an Axis ally, the German soldiers were allowed to wear the award, but there was no regulation specifying a particular method. So it could be worn anywhere. It didn't have to be on a ribbon in a particular order with the rest of their German medals. Due to Italy's withdrawal from the war and the subsequent surrender, the wear of all Italian wards was prohibited. And in March 29th, 1944, they stopped making these and they were specified to be handed in. And basically what happened is they were handed in and they were melted back down for war weapons and munitions and bits and pieces. Now, folks, this one here is bronze. So that denotes that it is there's three different types as well. This is a type 1 in bronze, which means it's the first of the medals to be distributed in 1942. So this medal was issued in 1942 to a German soldier. He ran around Africa under Rommel, and then all of a sudden, it's ended up here in New Zealand. Now, we were absolutely blown away by this because how in the world can a medal that shouldn't even exist be over here in the middle of nowhere in New Zealand? It was just gobsmacked. We were so excited. And of course, then the old mind started going and we were coming up with all kinds of ideas. But I think we all conceded that it was probably a New Zealand soldier was probably stationed over in Africa. He probably shot a German soldier wearing one of these medals. And as you know, and as you hear a lot of stories, he probably took what he could see off the German soldier as a war trophy. And a lot of that happened. A lot of stuff was stolen and a lot of stuff was taken as war trophies, knives, pistols, and medals. So obviously that New Zealand soldier took this, put it in his little bag of goodies, came back home to New Zealand, and subsequently lost it. Which I feel sorry for the guy too, because I mean, this probably had some real sentimental value to that guy. You don't know what kind of a fight he was having with that German soldier. It could have been a real hand-to-hand battle. Yeah, you just don't know. And the mind really just boggles. You can get really carried away with thinking up really cool stories. But yeah, so come from Africa, or was made in Italy, went to Africa, worn by a German soldier, taken by a New Zealand soldier, and brought back here to New Zealand. And that's what we're going to stick with. That's the story I'm sticking with. So, yeah, it's awesome. So, as you can tell, that is just an epic find. Absolutely amazing. Just the stories it could tell. Honestly, I mean, all of these things. What poor lady lost this years and years ago? What poor dude, probably a gold miner, lost this? Why? And what was he doing? And then, of course, the stories this medal could tell us. My goodness, that would be amazing. It's why I love this hobby of metal detecting. Sure, you can find cool coins, you can find silver coins, you can find jewelry, but sometimes it's the simple things like a medal that's traveled halfway around the world, with an amazing history and story behind it. And the other things I love. The other things I absolutely thrive to find. So yeah, so there. Number 3, number 2, number 1. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been quite cool reminiscing about some of my earlier finds, and I've really enjoyed making this video for you guys. Leave me some comments of what you think, and yeah, anything else you want to see. And yeah, thanks for stopping in, and hope it wasn't too long. Alrighty, guys. Well, be safe. I hope everything's going well for you in this crazy times, and I hope you're all keeping well. And until the next one, guys, happy hunting.